Welcome back. This episode, we're changing it up a little and working on this nether tower. Specifically, I want to put in a netherrack purchasing redstone contraption that's going to go, I think, in the floor, actually, right here. So this is a vending machine design that I came up with, or should I say a reverse vending machine. Obviously, I will be prettying it up for the realm, but the redstone you can see down there relies on clay pots and comparators to count all the blocks coming in. There's also this part back here, which is primarily just to turn these indicator lights off and on. And the way that it works is you put netherrack into this chest, your payment shows up in this chest, and then this is a maintenance chest where I will put emeralds back into the system to keep paying people. And that's pretty much it. Now I've got a few resources in here that I think might look nice for this project, but I also want to have some netherrack and nether bricks. So I keep a stock of them underground in the city sewers that I've been working on. And these are down here. Now this place is pretty much just storage, but it does go out here. If you haven't seen this before, this is my city sewer system that I started working on. It doesn't really go anywhere. It's just that big room and the little branch over here. So hoping to expand this eventually, but it's kind of repetitive and it takes a lot of nether brick. So I was thinking I would do a little like black stone floor here like this. And then for the walls, either warped logs, or I guess stems, and the warped blocks. So not sure if I want to do stems like this or if I want to do just the warped blocks like this. These are a lot easier to do versus these that are going to take a while to collect all of that. But I could do kind of a combination of the both, and I could always strip these as well. But I do want to have it be different from up at the top here. So I was thinking bluer shades down here, and then the black floor would be kind of nice. I'm actually really liking this with the nether brick chiseled blocks. Chiseled nether brick blocks. Chiseled nether bricks. They're pretty subtle, but they do fit in pretty nicely. And then of course we have the rim made out of regular nether bricks. So that looks nice. And then I just have to decide what to do in between these pillars. Maybe warp blocks, just to have that really bright pop of color. Yeah, you know what, let's do it right now and let's see what it looks like. Oh, that didn't last very long. Yeah, so then here we would have to have these cut out or like recessed, so to speak, for the light and the chest, and then we need like space for a block in there. But otherwise, I think that's good. And then we have one here for inputting nether rack, and then we would have another one over here for the payment in emeralds, and then this would be like the maintenance, input your emeralds to replenish the supply of netherrack. I think that would be pretty good. And then this side over here would have to just be like either a staircase getting up and down, or kind of like a faux, just like a blank one for the fourth one. Well, if I'm gonna stick with this, then I guess I've got to get more warped stems, and also they're not leaves, I don't know what they're called. Warped block. Need more of that. This should be the last tree here. We've got about half a stack of the warped stems, and that is probably about double what I actually need. I keep using pick block, and pick block is like great and all, but if I'm using pick block and I'm holding my pickaxe and I'm about to need my pickaxe, then that's gonna create some problems. I'm gonna get cranky because I can't pick block my pickaxe back into my inventory. You know what? That's something they should add to Minecraft, a favoriting system, so that you can just like assign a key to get like this specific item or this specific item into your inventory in whatever slot you have. That way you could just hotkey your pickaxe from anywhere in your inventory. Okay, I think I actually had a pretty interesting idea. So I've been thinking about how I want to get in and out of this space, and I don't really actually love the idea of a staircase in here. I know there's one up there, and I will probably, hopefully do something about that. But this space here could be water elevators that go up and down right there. I'll make some changes to those chests and things, but yeah, then you could go up and down this way. I mean, probably you just jump down in and use the up elevator, but I'll put them both in, and then you'll come out here, and this will either be the maintenance or the input, and then, well, yeah, you'll have maintenance, input, and payment. I think that'll look really, really nice, actually. So with that in mind, I can start making the item filter, and that's going to prevent anybody from putting in anything besides netherrack. Item filters are nice and easy, so this is already done. Just need to put the netherrack into it, and also I should make placeholder items, and I can put them into my item filter here. That will complete this part of the contraption. Basically, the only reason that I put this filter in here is so that if somebody puts in a block that I don't want, say granite, it won't go into the rest of the system. It will get stuck in this hopper above the rest of the filter. And if you're really careful about it, you can actually access that hopper from right here, and you can pull that back out. So that's how that's going to work. And then this is going to fill all these netherrack into the rest of the system. The next step would be to make some of these decorated pots. And what those are going to do is, well, one of them is going to be the kind of holding position for incoming netherrack. So basically all the netherrack comes in, goes into here until we get 32. And I'll know I got 32 because one of these other two is going to be nearby, and it has 28. And then we're going to take redstone signals from comparators, which are sitting over here. You know what? I'm looking at my schematic and I built this up a little bit too high to begin with. And we are going to need another hopper out the bottom, and that's going to finally feed into a chest. And I don't know exactly where that's going to go. I'm just going to clear out a bunch of space for this right now because I'm going to need it, and it feels tight in here. Much better. I can breathe. This is the first part of the redstone. It's going to block this hopper from releasing until this is definitely full of 32 netherrack. And then we need the comparator to figure out how much netherrack is actually in that pot. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, so I might as well put that one in as well. But this one's the actual important one, and it is also going to be in subtract mode, which just means that there's another input going to come in from the side that's going to be compared to this one. So this is where that comparison pot is going to sit, and then we need the other comparator that goes into this one. This one does not need to be in subtract mode, and then this is going to have exactly 28 items in it. 26, 27, 28. So once this pot receives 32 blocks, this comparator turns on. We're going to run that redstone signal back into this hopper and basically turn off any incoming blocks. So no incoming blocks once this hits 32 until we get comparator output that says, hey, we've taken all the blocks back out, because we don't want new blocks coming in while we're still trying to count all of the existing ones in the system. So this is just that redstone signal. Get 32 blocks in, stop getting blocks in while you take them out, get 32 more blocks in, stop, rinse and repeat. So there is a slight hiccup with this off logic, which is that it will turn off too soon and start allowing blocks back into the system before I want them. So in order to counteract that, I'm going to add secondary off logic. Here's the comparator, and I believe a repeater. That's not a repeater. And a repeater. This is basically just going to say, until this is fully done taking blocks out, keep it off. Let me finish that line up right here. So it goes back around, and as you can see, this is just going to connect everything back up into keeping this off while we are still taking blocks back out of the pot. So I think all this redstone is done for this section. So this final line is going to be just a output from this block that tells us that we are still holding blocks here. So that's going to lead to our light that tells us that we are still processing inputs. Lamp, lamp, and lamp. Cool. So I think it's appropriate that we give this a little test before we move on, which means I need some netherrack. Here we go. We've got 2 stacks of that. Let's make sure we sleep so I don't keep getting hit by strays. And then we can put the netherrack into here. And so as soon as we put that in, I would expect this to turn on. And it hasn't done that. Let's see. This is coming in here. Did I jump into things prematurely? Is it actually turned on there? Oh, it is turned on. Okay. Well, I have a lot of junk in here, but here's the first 32 netherrack that came in. And I guess, no, there should be another 32. I don't know where it is. Lost. Oh, actually, I do know where the other 32 is. It's getting stuck in the filter. So when I set up the filter, I only put 2 netherrack in here. And because I only put 2 netherrack in there, then there's the other 16 that you see here, plus this one that always gets stuck. So we're short 17. So I need to input 17 more, and then we will see the actual system working properly because I have the right amounts of things in it. We did get the 64 out, and we are ready to link everything else up. Awesome. I think some cleanup is probably in order down here. Well, with the input complete, it's time to work on the payment, the output. So that's going to be this chest, and it will be pretty much powered by 2 droppers. And so these 2 droppers are going to send emeralds up into the payment chest. They are going to be powered and refilled by some hoppers that come through this section over here, which I do not have nearly enough of. So we're going to have to go back up here and grab some more hoppers. And by grab some more, I mean craft some more. Oh my gosh. And there we go. So this will be the input chest. Put emeralds in here, and they are going to go down, and they are going to go across, following this hopper line into this chest. Now there is supposed to be a payment ready light, so there's going to also need to be a comparator output out of this chest to say whether there are items in this chest, and then we're going to combine that output with the opposite of this output. So if there are not netherrack blocks processing in here, and there's emeralds in this chest, then this light will turn on and say that the payment is ready. I guess the other important detail here would be that we need to know when exactly to trigger the payment to be delivered, and that it comes from connecting this line to this dropper. Easy peasy, nothing special about that. Let's test the payment and see that it actually comes up into this chest. So if I put 2, well, it's 1 stack, it should give 2 emeralds, in our case, nether quartz. This will take a minute because it does take time to process, but we should pretty quickly get at least the first of the 2 payments into here. Oh, 5, 6. That's not what I want. Okay, well, that's useful information. Something is messed up, and I don't know what. I figured it out. This repeater down here is on the wrong setting. So once I fix that, I should be able to come down here and collect some netherrack and try our test again. I can just put the netherrack directly into here, and we should see this line turn on once and only once, which it has not done. Okay, we're back in the creative world, and I think after about 2.5 hours of trying to figure out why this doesn't work, I rebuilt the entire thing over here, and it still didn't work. Every block exactly the same. I could not figure this stupid thing out, and I just got it. It just clicked. This is the answer. So down here, I switched it in the survival, in the realm, I switched this to a hopper. So here, I'll put a hopper in and I'll show you. Here's the hopper line. That was what I was expecting to do. And then we grab these blocks so I can put them back in. This is our output chest. This is our input chest. If there's a hopper in here, or sorry, if there's a hopper right here, then this hopper will take the block and immediately spit it out into the next one faster than if it were a chest right here. So if I take this and I switch it for a chest, then that all stops happening. We stop getting the really fast blinking, and this stays constant, which is what I need in order for the whole system to work. So there you go. That was what was causing the issue, but it's fine because it's fixed now. Well, it's about to be fixed. Okay, back in the realm, come on. All right, so that's good. This is good. All of this can go back to how it was, including that. This was, I think, a single, yeah, that was the default. And this was a 4, and yeah, should be the only 4 in the whole thing. Okay, so then the only thing different is this. Get rid of this, get rid of this, and I guess this. Now I should be able to test this thing. Everything else should be functioning. I'm going to make sure that I don't have, well, I do have iron. I'm using iron now for payment. And then we should be good to test. God, I really hope this works. I don't feel like doing any more debugging today. All right, here we go. Netherrack. Processing light comes on. I'm gonna run down here and see. This should turn on, turn off, stay off, then turn back on and stay on for a while. Perfect. And then we wait for it to come back on. Lovely. And then it should turn back off, and we will have 2 iron ingots up in the emerald box. I'm just waiting for this to all filter out, but it's already done. Let's go up. And here's our output box. We finally got 2 ingots. All right, that was a huge, huge headache, but we are now ready to continue. I need a little break. Let's go harvest some bamboo. I really cannot believe that that was the issue. Of all the stupid bugs that could have made that stop working, I built it. I rebuilt the whole thing from the ground up in that creative world, and it still didn't work. And it turned out to be the chest. I didn't even know that chests did that. Here we go. Let's collect the bamboo. And then pretty much am just gonna leave this bamboo until the next harvest. Okay, so now that we've got the output working, we need the light for the output. This is the payment chest, so as long as there isn't anything in it and the processing light isn't on, then this light will turn on to say that there is a payment and that it is ready to be collected. So the first part of that is we need to take the output from the processing light, which is this line here, and we are going to take the opposite of that because we want to know if it's not processing, and then we can just go over this way. Clear out some room for that. And so if I put the AND gate here, which looks something like this, and then I take that item out, this one turns off. Now I also need the output from down there with the processing indicator. After an unreasonable amount of headache, I think I finally got something that works. So if I take out these two pieces of iron and I put into one stack of netherrack, I should see 2 iron pop into this chest, and then also the light will come on once this light goes off. So we'll see if that happens. Okay, awesome. And then I take these back out and that light goes off. This is working just the way it's supposed to. Now I gotta clean up this area back here, and the last piece of the puzzle is to connect up the final light for when there's not enough emeralds in the payment box. And so this final part is going to be about as simple as a comparator out of this dropper, followed by a redstone line that wraps all the way back around to the input chest. All right, looks like the light came on. I will go ahead and add a whole bunch of emeralds, and it'll take a second because the droppers are very empty, but this light should pretty soon turn off. I want to put some stairs in here and some signs. Signs are up and the light is off, which means that I can toss in 2 stacks of netherrack and that light will come on and we receive 4 emeralds back. Of course, I'm just going to put them directly back into the stored funds, so they'll end up ready to pay out for more netherrack. Now that that's done, I want to do something about this water elevator that I plan to put in here. And I think I'm also going to have to do something about that window because these stairs cannot stay. And I think the only real way to go about this is to make that water elevator go all the way up to that second floor there. All right, here's what I ended up doing for the water elevator area. Pretty much the same theme as in the main part there. The upper elevators to the second floor were a little more challenging, but I'm pretty happy with how those turned out. And then I did do a little bit more customization of the existing decorations, and then I went ahead and redid the shopping I guess layouts, added some products, that sort of thing. All in all, I would say I am very happy with how this project turned out. I do have one last thing that I need to work on, but I think I'll do that off camera. That will be to figure out where exactly this netherrack is going to end up. I do have this kind of maintenance access hatch, but I don't want it to all get backed up in that area. I want it to go down into the nether sewer system sort of place, and I can like smelt it down there and process it that way. So that is all for this episode, and I do hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.